Built thousands and thousands of years ago, and high up on an Italian mountainside, there lies a small town that has largely been forgotten about. Imagine an entire city neglected and completely abandoned and void of all people for over 13 years. For us urban explorers living halfway across the world, documenting and exploring this city was most certainly a real once-in-a-lifetime experience. Unfortunately, it was also a real once-in-a-lifetime nightmare for the people that lived in this small, quaint city in central Italy. And this is exactly what happened in that city known as Fossa. While the people of Fossa, Italy were deep in their sleep at 3:32 a.m. on April 6, 2009, a tragic and devastating event unfolded, suddenly awakening the approximate 20,000 residents.
Shaken and covered in dust, a man is pulled to safety. He survived the powerful earthquake, but many others were buried alive.
They did find a 10-year-old girl alive here, Julia.
This monster of an earthquake clocked in at 5.9 on the Richter scale and did $16 billion worth of damage to the city's infrastructure, such as the roads, railways, bridges, tunnels, water supply, sewage, electricity, and even telephones. In addition to the city's infrastructure, thousands of homes and businesses were left barely recognizable and dangerously uninhabitable. Nearly half of the 20,000 residents of Fossa were now left suddenly homeless and with nowhere to go. This event would later become known as the 2009 L'Aquila earthquake. The earthquake would also become one of Italy's deadliest acts caused by none other than Miss Mother Nature herself. Although the city that we documented and explored was Fossa, the name of the earthquake L'Aquila comes from the larger province that the city of Fossa lies within. And just to help with any confusion and to make it more clear, Fossa lies within the province of L'Aquila and in the greater Italian region of Abruzzo. The province of L'Aquila and the greater region of Abruzzo have experienced hundreds of earthquakes since the dawn of time, with the first recorded earthquake in 1315 and the last one in 2021. The primary reason why they have so many earthquakes over there is because the area was actually built on a low ancient lake bed. That lake bed provides a certain soil structure that unfortunately amplifies seismic waves and seismic activity, hence creating an ideal environment for the development of earthquakes. But this is really, really cool right here. This little girl's room. Games and badminton and stuffed animals, puzzles. It's so cool. Like, look at this. The 2009 L'Aquila earthquake was one of the largest, most costly, and most deadly earthquakes in the country's history, and set it apart from the rest with an estimated $16 billion in damages and a final death toll of 308 people. Furthermore, the earthquake injured approximately another 1,500 people and left over 70,000 other people homeless throughout the entire region. Although some homes, also known as villas, seem to have been cleared out at some point over the last 13 years, most of the people's homes were so severely affected that they had to leave all of their prized possessions and belongings behind, mainly as it was just too risky and too dangerous for anyone to re-enter their homes. About to take a stroll into this villa here. Back off this beaten path over here. Let's check it out. So when we came through to explore the countless number of these now abandoned homes, many of them were truly like time capsules stuck in April of 2009. Look at these walls. They're all muraled up. And the beautiful frescoes. Oh, that person looks dead. So we're now like above it's not a city hall. It says plaza. Like town plaza or something like that. So I'm not really sure what it is, but there's a naked chick on the wall. Super cool old paintings up here though too. Just like the ones downstairs. It's weird though, because it doesn't even connect over to that other part. I came through a back way. And this area's got some cool stuff. The ceiling here. Old chest there. I think I saw something outside that said this was like a city hall type of building or something like that. Move over here. Got like an old tub here. Like a heater to heat the water. Look at that. That's incredible. It's like a granite tub and then an old water heater. You got a little balcony out there. This has got some cool muralage. Some birds, some floral patterns going around. Look at that detailed fireplace too. That's incredible. Sweet. And this thing is all tile, glazed tile. You stoke it here. Jeez, that's amazing. And this room is really cool. Three beds in here. This one does look a little out of place, but super old bed though. Look at that. Can't even imagine sleeping on this thing. Look at the... No way, dude. Metal box spring. Ceiling in here is incredible too. It's all hand painted. It's about to fall down though. Look at the cracks in the walls. That's why you see some spray paint there. Of the residents, I'm sure. Here's an old villa entrance, maybe, at Fossa. Pretty cool. And you can see here, the crane there is for part of the renovation and restoration of Fossa. You can see some of the scaffolding there. Here's the church in Fossa, the main church in town. This thing was absolutely destroyed by the earthquake, unfortunately. It's a shame because look at the ceiling on this thing. I mean, impressive. Pews are still here and all. This church has details just everywhere you look. Look at that. That'd be the dome up there, and they're trying to save it from collapsing. Look at all that scaffolding.
This is the old chandelier that they saved from the church.
I wonder if this is like a crypt with the priest buried in the floor. Here's the confessional, I believe. Piano. And that old mural there. The mural's amazing. So most of these smaller towns that were built into the mountains and stuff have like one church is their main sanctuary. And this was the main sanctuary for Fossa.
Becca would have absolutely loved this place.
So we're at the church in Fossa, and look at that view from the church. Incredible. I'll show you the exterior of the church. There's the steeple and clock tower, and then you can actually see the bell up there. Besides the workers in the distance from time to time, the city was eerily quiet and silent, that all we could hear was the warm wind blowing and the occasional sparrow chirping about. As we made our way through the narrow and winding streets of Fossa, we could almost feel the energy that was once there. So, found a chapel here in Fossa. Look at that ceiling. There's the altar. Tiny little chapel. One of these robes here. An altar piece. Look at all that. Still sitting here. Super old too. I'm gonna go check out this villa here that's open. This is the bedroom. See clothes just thrown about. The mattress here. Got a dress hanging up there. A coat rack. Look at that. See the crane right there for the rehab. So ghostly out here. The only people around are workers.
This is pretty wild. If you look up there, 2 floors of this house collapsed. Yet there's 2 little picture frames still hanging on the wall. Found some old film here, cool skeleton key, some old photos. Wow, look at all these old family photos. I know these would mean a lot to the owner. I know I lost all my photos as a kid, and it really sucks to not have those anymore, let alone lose everything and just have to get up and leave your house overnight. I can't imagine how everyone felt that lived in this town. You just lose everything. The old school photo. Here's an old photo of the town. This house is still loaded with everything. It looks like some of the owners of the houses might have came in and removed some stuff. Because some houses are completely empty. And then some are like this one. So here's another house with 2 floors completely collapsed. Yet, just a couple little picture frames managed to stay on the wall. That absolutely blows my mind that they didn't get knocked over. Same with that little chair up there. This room is really, really cool. One of the cooler rooms that I found here so far. Look at all these little knickknacks. Just still right where they were left. Yet look how destroyed this room is.
This bedroom's incredible right here. Look at this. Two twin trunks in the front of the bed.
Look at these drawings. This is the best house that I've found yet here. I mean, look at this bedroom. It's just so unique because you never see houses like this. If they're usually destroyed, everything's removed for the most part.
It's like a kid's room here. You got 2 beds pushed together here. Some dogs hanging up on the wall. Classic game of Twister on the bed. I love that. It's like a little toy closet. Not quite sure what those are supposed to be. Kind of creepy though. It's got a book still up on the shelf here. They really love Mickey. This is actually another bed here. With this distorted reindeer. And one more room here. This bedroom is really cool. Full of dust. Look at the rubble pile starting to build up in front of the radiator, the window, from where we were above. You can see through.
It's a really sad painting of a young boy crying. It's really unfortunate to see all this stuff left behind. It's so crazy that some of the glass inside the china cabinets is just still standing up. I mean, you can see how strong of an earthquake this was, that it just destroyed this entire town, yet all these picture frames still hanging. So I can hear workers very close to me. We're trying to avoid them. So I think I'm gonna go on the other side of the town now. You can hear them working right here.
Let's check this villa out. Kitchen area, obviously. Old apron. Drying rack. fridge too. You can actually see just how much damage this earthquake did over here. Look at that. You can see the collapse of the bedroom. In on itself, the bed's actually right there. Scary. Especially if you were just living in here. This is the dining room area. And look at that. Just loaded with stuff. Look at that cool little angel looking over. Or a little girl anyway. More over here. All the fine china. Or Italian made. So you can see the ceiling here is actually collapsed from the earthquake in the dining room of this villa. And the big pieces right here. Here's one of the bedrooms. And you can see the collapse there. Here's the upstairs of the villa with the collapsed bedroom. Oh, TV there. Stove. Fireplace here. That's cool. The calendar is actually from time of the earthquake, which was April of 2009, I'm pretty sure. Look at these little windy walkways down through villas that are all pretty much open. All their jars of food and stuff are still here. Look at that. Kitchen area. Fireplace. Knick-knack paddywhack. Damn. Lots of knickknacks in here. Look at that stove. There's a calendar from 2003. TV. So, God. That's cool. It's even got some murals up here. An old remote sitting up there. An old scale. Goes upstairs to the bedroom. Little nook over here, stove.
This is an old wine cellar. Look at all these old wine barrels. So I'm down in this wine cellar, and these light bulbs are held up with just sticks hanging from the ceiling. Look at the mural on the wall. Look how old this ladder is. So these wine cellars are all connected underneath several houses. And you can see there's just a bunch of old wine bottles. And here's another wine cellar. Look at this. It's just an old mallet made out of 2 pieces of wood. It's just a branch of a tree into a log. That's pretty wild. I can't imagine how old that is.
Inside the pharmacy at Fossa. Pretty empty though. You can see shelving units and stuff. Mostly just paperwork. We would often stop and imagine the once hustling, bustling, and fast-paced moving city with businesses booming, children playing, and normal everyday people moving about. This experience would also leave a lasting impression on us all, as we couldn't help but to think about the people of Fossa and all of the heartache and heartbreak that they had to go through, as an act of nature had literally taken everything from them in a matter of mere seconds. I think that I can speak for all of us when I say that we were left with a vast array of real raw emotions, mainly compassion and sympathy. Several times during the exploration of the numerous buildings within the town, we all had times where we had to be very quiet because workers would walk by, and we also had to hide from them several times when they would come through to survey the damage and the restoration efforts. By the time we got done exploring Fossa, we were all very grateful and realized how fortunate we really were to have been able to successfully dodge all the workers. And by accomplishing that, we were able to spend over a half a day going in and out of what seemed like endless homes and businesses and exploring such a unique and unforgettable location. On a final note, we were all also very pleased, appreciative, eager, and excited to see and personally witness all of the recovery, restoration, renovation, and rebuilding efforts currently underway in the town of Fossa. As one article mentioned, the project of rebuilding Fossa is now considered Italy's largest construction site. In conclusion, we want to keep the people that were affected by the 2009 L'Aquila earthquake in our hearts and in our prayers. We also want to thank you all for tuning in and watching this life-changing experience and exploration for us. We always appreciate the support. For more photographs from Fossa and other locations, please check out AbandonedCentral.com. And don't forget, please subscribe to Abandoned Central on YouTube so that you don't miss any of our latest videos. Thank you all again.